It's a 1-year anniversary. Yeah, I look different than last week's video, but hey, it's a 1-year update coming right at you right after this.
Everybody get up.
Hey everybody, it's me, little old Mark State, back here talking with you. Okay, get your popcorn, get your soda, get comfortable. We're going to be here for a little bit. First year at Prime, 1 year, 12 months completed in the books. Driving 12 months. Actually, it's 12 months and 2 or 3 weeks. My, oh my, oh my. Where to start? Okay, first off, let's start with some caveats. First and foremost, I will say this. Prime is fine for both the experienced driver, the new driver with a fresh CDL, and those that have no experience and want to get their CDL. Prime is a much better place to start than Stevens Transport, point blank. Now, that being said, Prime does have limitations on the driver with experience who is ultimately trying to get to being an owner-operator with his own authority, own trailer, own customers. It has that ceiling there. Prime does have its limits. This comparison is going to be basically my experience with Stevens versus Prime, because that's where I started with Stevens and now I'm here at Prime. I don't care about Swift, I don't care about Schneider, I don't care about Martin, I don't care about CR England and all the rest of those. I have no experience with them, so I will not comment about them. That's simple. First year, started out rough, had a couple of hiccups, of course, learning the new culture, the new way that, that I have to learn to operate under, but got that going pretty good. Things started rolling. I've only had one mechanical breakdown of this brand new Freightliner. It's a 2015 Freightliner, DD15 engine. Only one mechanical breakdown. That was in the first 2,000 miles, and it only put me out of service for 10 hours, a 10-hour break. It was the main air pump. Now, if you saw the picture on Facebook, you saw the truck with its nose lifted on a record because it was getting hauled back to get fixed. So 10 hours is all I was down. As for the remainder of the miles, I'm at literally today I turned 130,000 miles on the odometer. That was the only mechanical breakdown or mechanical issue that shut the truck down. One. Maintenance cost has been nothing more than just oil changes and filter changes every 50,000 miles. That's it. Numbers wise, I've been averaging per week on the miles, I've been averaging as low as 1,800, 1,900 to, I don't know, some weeks when they can keep me rolling, I'll get into that here in a minute, 2,400, 2,500. Because Prime is set up differently. Most companies are set up to pay you on a per mile basis. Leasing this truck with Prime, I'm on a percentage pay. And of course, you can check a previous video where I cover the difference in the lease operation between Stevens and Prime. So you can check out that video. Where Stevens was high miles, low pay, Prime is set up with low miles, high revenue. 72% of high revenue, yeah, the paycheck's up there. Let's tell you what, let me step aside here. I'll throw up some screenshots I took of my, basically, now this is May 1st, 2014 through the beginning of May 2015, okay? In my pocket, take home for the year, $55,183 and some change. Running on approximately, now this says 109,000 miles, but that's an additional week in there, so let's subtract 2,000. So it's 107,000 miles for a 12-month period, 55,183 pre-tax in my pocket. Now, the miles look low, and they are. Normally, I was running at Stevens for the 2.5, almost 3 years I was there. I was doing about 125 to 129,000 miles a year there. Now it's 107,000. Let's take a look at another page here. What does that mean, Mark? What is that gross? How do we get to that 55? Well, you can see when converted to a per mile basis, it's $1.77 per mile, per loaded mile. For that 107,000 miles, I averaged $1.77 gross. That's before the bills. Okay, after all the bills were paid, the truck note, the insurance, APU, blah, 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 right? You know, the costs, including fuel, I averaged 0.504 cents per mile in my pocket. Okay, that's about per mile, which is better than a company driver. Prime's company drivers start at 38.5 cents, and if they've got a coffin sleeper, add a nickel, so 43.5 cents. Well, I did almost 51 cents a mile as a lease operator. And the one problem I did have this year was my right foot discipline. Yeah, I got into it. My average speed was probably set up around 57.5, 58 average, which means I ran the truck between 60 and 65 more than half the time. Yeah, I gave up about $5,000 or $6,000 in fuel cost because I didn't have any right foot discipline. So we're going to work on that for this year. We're going to try to slow the truck back down to where I normally run, which is 57 miles an hour. And maybe I can keep that $5,000 extra in my pocket when we talk this time next year. Okay. Major differences and problems that I have, or chinks in the armor with Prime and how they run. Okay, let's tear into that list. What you might consider the cons of working at Prime. Others already know this. They tried warning me about it. Thank you for warning me because it helped me keep an eye on it and look for it. How to diplomatically put this without getting in trouble. We'll find a way. Okay. Again, keep in mind, I'm still happy running with Prime because, you know, $1,300, $1,500 a week in the pocket, you know, covers a lot of BS, you know, makes you suffer and makes you put up with a lot of BS. So, okay, first problem I have with Prime, the fuel surcharge program. They recruited me saying that when I asked the question, when it comes to fuel surcharge, do you pay the lease operator, owner operators 100% of fuel surcharge collected? And I was told yes. No, you don't. I have proof using Prime's own numbers on these green and white sheets with the numbers on them. That's going to be a totally separate video, and I'll explain that out. So, no, we're not being paid 100% of the fuel surcharge. Is it enough to be a deal breaker of what they're taking off or hiding with the smoke and mirrors and the numbers? Nah. Most times it's only $18, $20 a load. Sometimes it can climb up there into the $60, $70, $80 a load, depending on how far you're going and how much was collected. Again, that's another video. So fuel surcharge, if Prime tells you they're paying 100% fuel surcharge, they're not, and I can prove it. Right here on tape, I can prove it, and I will in a separate video. Second problem, utilization rate with Prime. The industry average on utilization rate. Now, utilization rate, if you don't know what that is, that's how much time are you under a load versus your 70-hour clock in a week. Okay, that 70-hour clock in a week, you know, the 11 hours a day, 14-hour workday, how much of that drive time or on-duty time is being utilized out of the entire week, which is being 100%. The industry average is about 70 to 72%. Last time I checked with my fleet manager, 42% was my utilization rate. What does that mean, Mark? Well, if you remember back, remember that 55,183? If my utilization rate had been higher, in other words, more pre-plans put on me, so when I empty out at a receiver, I know where I'm going, I can put myself in position, or even go get reloaded right away. Higher utilization rate means better use of time, and as we all know in trucking, when it comes to your logbook, time equals money. The more you can convert that on-duty time and drive time to driving, the more money you make. Prime, I don't know why, we're still trying to figure out why, but there seems to be a slowdown here in May. There shouldn't be. Freight should be running hot and heavy right now. But that 55,183 reflects low utilization rate, which means I empty out at 11 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock at night, and I've got only 1 or 2 hours work, so I've got plenty of clock for the day, but there's no pre-plan. There's no load, and I won't get one till tomorrow morning. So that means I'm sitting there doing this until sales comes in at 7 o'clock the next morning and starts kicking out loads to the drivers that are waiting. Well, by that time, my 14-hour clock is burned up, can't do anything, I sit. That happens way too much. I've beat up my fleet manager, poor Jeff. I beat him on the phone all the time. And I get 3 of those back to back in a week. I am on him like Mike Tyson on Evander Holyfield's ear. I'm chewing on Jeff's ear hard. I've talked to his boss about it. I talked to Stan and James, and I don't know who, Eli. I talked to another guy, I forget Eli's last name. Apparently he's one of the big managers there about this utilization issue. And for some reason, they all think it's about, I don't know what, but it wasn't a very positive and it wasn't very constructive on the phone with them on that. So utilization rate, if you're used to running hard, I'm talking like go, 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 go. Prime's gonna disappoint you because you're gonna find yourself sitting in between loads. Now, what helps offset that, remember, percentage pay is that high revenue. You know, I just ran a load from Murfreesboro, Tennessee to Massachusetts. The load paid me $2,500. So what that I had to sit an extra 8 hours or 10 hours in the front side? That's a two and a half day trip, a little over 1,100 miles. So just a hair over 2 days of driving, $2,500 gross revenue to me. Yeah, like I said, the revenue helps offset some of the BS you got to put up with here at Prime. So fuel surcharge, an issue. Utilization rate, it's another issue. It's just money that's left on the table that we could have captured. In my estimation, based on my numbers and my truck performance, my $55,183 for the 12 months, that could have been $70,000. Had my utilization been a little bit better, just a little bit. Let's see, other issues at Prime. Not a whole lot. Those seem to be the 2 biggest ones. Everything else is small and petty and minor. Lack of communication. I will say this, hold time, you are not sitting on hold as long as you are at Stevens. That I can tell you. They're pretty good on picking up the phone at Prime, I'll give them that. So, now let me also break down and clarify a couple of other items. Again, I see 3 different classes of people or experience levels coming to Prime. Okay, those with no experience that want their CDL, that's one group. Those with the CDL with 8 months experience or less, it's a second group. And the third group are drivers that come to Prime who have a year or 2 or more under their belt, looking for greener grass. For all 3 groups, Prime is a great place for the first group. You want to get your CDL, come to Prime. It's better than Stevens. Point blank, period. Done, enough said. You can go to the website and read for yourself why, right there on the website. Group 2, 8 months experience or less. You come to Prime, you've probably been company driving. And you're coming to Prime because you want to make that jump to being a lease operator. The support you have here with your first time lease, the fleet managers are really good about teaching you and showing you freight lanes. Pay attention to your rates, when to refuse a load and when not to refuse a load. They're really good at teaching you that first year of leasing a truck for your first year. It's I call it your first year lease with training wheels, because your fleet manager is going to work with you, but he's also at times going to dictate to you and say, just trust me, do this, because they're gonna make you money, okay? Third group, where I'm at, those with experience coming in. If you've leased a truck or you're a company driver, whatever, again, look at that previous video. I did the comparison on the income on a lease. The revenue's higher, there's more money, less work. I guess that's the shortest way to put it. More money, less work, higher satisfaction because there's less BS to put up with. That's pretty much about it. Am I ready to leave Prime? Pretty close. Last week I put a post up about time to start looking for a new gig. What I mean by that is, I've been with Prime for a year. It's at least time to poke my head up and let's go look and see what other companies are doing. Because my next jump is to owner-operator status. I'm going to be an owner-op. I'm going to own my own truck. One way or another, someday I'm going to do it. I'm on track right now with Prime to do it in 3 years. Well, I'm going to poke my head up, take a look at some other companies and see if there's any faster ways, if there's any new programs out there. Because if there are some new programs out there, don't know. I'll keep you updated on it though. Of course, if you have any questions about Prime and what you can expect in 12 months of working for them, leave a comment below, hit me up on Facebook. It's that simple. If you are considering, okay, here we go, shameless plug time. Yeah, I'm wrapping it up. Time to shamelessly plug. Hopefully you've stuck around this long. If you want to come to Prime and need more information, you can't get a hold of me on Facebook. I've got an 800 number you can call. Call the 800 number. 800 number magically appears. If I'm not answering your questions because I'm asleep or busy or whatever, call the 800 number. I've got a team back at Prime that'll help answer your questions for you. Give them a call here. Same if you have questions about obtaining your CDL. You want to start a career in trucking. You can't get a hold of me to ask questions? 800 number right here. Call my team. That's my number. Okay? Mark, that's Mark's. You call that number. They already know I gave you the number. Okay, this is the only place you're going to find this 800 number is right here on my video. So give them a call. They'll answer your questions. Yeah, it's that simple. Talk to them. Do the application over the phone if you can. See if we can get qualified right now. See if you can come in on Monday. That'd be awesome. So anyways, again, if you have questions about Prime culture, driving for Prime, what are the trucks like, blah, 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 blah. Post a question down below. Hit me up on Facebook. And I'll try to answer them the best I can. Okay? I can't think of anything else to share with you. And this thing's been going on for over 16 minutes, 17 minutes now. I'm done. I'm gonna go get some dinner. I'm hungry. Are you hungry? I want some, yeah, I'm gonna go get it. I'll see you next week. I'm out of here.